Now, the third example that I have for y'all is using NVIDIA, which is not SPY. However, it's really important that I added this in here because, like I mentioned before, you can use this strategy in other stock charts. And also, I really did a good job at screenshotting the profits as this trade was playing out in real time to show you just how riding the trend can be extremely profitable. This is the NVIDIA chart. I entered here with this blue arrow and I rode it all the way up to the top here at plus 125%. And you can see the final profit on the options contract, on this options contract screenshot to the right. And then on the actual chart, I show you guys how much money I was making on the way up. Again, riding this green EMA cloud, which we will get into further in the course. Now, another thing about this is this was a watch list position. So I added this to my watch list. I did not buy this with my real money. That is a way that you can kind of paper trade on Robinhood, but it's not as good as actually practicing buying and selling with the paper trading on that Webull offers. So this is a watch list position. When I added this to my watch list, I added one contract to my watch list. When I added it, it was $281. And this was a 2-week out contract. I added this to my watch list on 9/11. It had an expiration date of 9/27. So this was a little more than 2 weeks out. By the time it got up to 125%, which is just at the top of this range here, this contract had gained $352 on this one contract. If I would have bought this with real money, I would have paid $281 for it, and I would have been able to sell it back to the market for $633, which is an overall 125% return. On the way up, I kept track of how much I was making on the way up. At 10%, we were looking at here. So I would have only had to be in the market for this small amount of time in order to get 10% profit. If I would have held it a little bit longer, 36% profit. In between here, we got 90% profit screenshot, and so on and so forth. And I will let you guys know in the course when it's a good idea to sell and when it's a good idea to hold so that you can make sure that you are maximizing your profits on these. But this is a really good example to use because it does show you that you can use this on other stock charts and just how much you can gain percentage-wise using the trend rider strategy.